All right, Lasso fans, get ready because we are diving into some huge news for Richmond fans everywhere.
That's right. We're talking about the official confirmation of a fourth season of Ted Lasso.
I know. Incredible, right?
Yeah, you'd think after that heartwarming ending to season 3 with Ted heading back to Kansas, that would be a wrap. But clearly there's more story to tell, and I, for one, am excited to unpack it all.
Me too. And we've got some juicy details to help us do just that, straight from Variety's article titled Ted Lasso Renewed for Season 4, Jason Sudeikis Returning, which dropped recently.
Oh, very nice.
So first things first, the question on everyone's mind. Is Ted actually coming back?
He is. The article confirms that Jason Sudeikis is indeed returning as Ted Lasso. Big sigh of relief for fans who are wondering how the show could possibly continue without its, heart and soul.
I know, right? Ted is Ted Lasso. But even with him back, Season 4 is going to be a whole new ballgame.
Definitely.
Season 3 tied up so many loose ends, it felt like a perfect ending in a lot of ways.
You're right, it did. Which is why this quote from Sudeikis about the upcoming season is so intriguing.
Ooh, lay it on me.
He said the folks at AFC Richmond will learn to leap before they look, discovering that wherever they land, it's exactly where they're meant to be. Now, what do you make of that?
Okay, so let's unpack this whole leap before they look idea.
Yeah.
It sounds like we might see some bold moves, maybe even some risks that don't quite go according to plan. Remember how Ted himself landed in Richmond?
Right.
A giant leap of faith, and look how that turned out.
Exactly. That quote could be hinting at a shift in the show's overall theme. Maybe we're moving away from the underdog story of AFC Richmond finding its footing and into a new phase where they're pushing boundaries, testing their limits, embracing the unknown.
I am already picturing Roy Kent yelling, "Leap before you look, and if you land on your face, get back up and do it again."
Aha! I can totally hear it. But in all seriousness, this quote raises some really fascinating questions. Will AFC Richmond take on a new challenge? Maybe a European tournament? Will Ted struggle to adjust back to life in Kansas, feeling that pull back to Richmond?
Ooh, and don't forget, there's been a shakeup behind the scenes. Jack Burdett, who's worked on shows like Modern Family and 30 Rock, has joined the team as an executive producer.
Oh, wow.
What do you think his comedic style will bring to the table?
That's where things get really interesting. Burdett is known for his sharp wit and ensemble comedy, which could add a slightly different flavor to Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
While I don't expect a complete tonal shift, I wonder if we'll see more intricate jokes, faster-paced dialogue, maybe even some meta humor that winks at the audience.
Now that you mention it, those shows do have a certain snappy energy. It could be a fun contrast to the heartwarming, almost folksy humor we're used to in Ted Lasso. But I have to admit, I'm a little nervous about messing with the winning formula. The show already has this amazing balance of heart and humor.
I get your concern, but I think it's important to remember that change can be a good thing, especially for a show that's entering its 4th season. A fresh perspective could keep the energy high and prevent things from feeling stale.
Okay, fair point. And let's not forget, Ted Lasso has already achieved phenomenal success. The article highlights how Warner Bros. And Apple TV Plus executives are praising its global impact and feel-good vibes.
Absolutely. They even mentioned the show's incredible 13 Emmy wins out of 61 nominations, including back-to-back wins for Best Comedy Series. That's no small feat, especially in such a competitive landscape.
It really speaks volumes about how deeply this show has resonated with audiences.
Yeah.
But what is it about Ted Lasso that makes it so special? What's captured the hearts and minds of so many people?
I think it's that rare combination of genuine warmth, optimistic humor, and characters you can't help but root for. The world felt pretty bleak when Ted Lasso first premiered. And here comes this relentlessly positive coach who believes in the power of kindness and second chances. It was like a breath of fresh air.
It really was the perfect antidote to all the negativity and division going on. And it wasn't just about feel-good moments. The show tackled some serious issues too. Grief, anxiety, even toxic masculinity. But it always approached these topics with empathy and a touch of humor, which made them more relatable and less preachy.
Exactly. It never shied away from the complexities of life, but managed to find hope and humor even in the darkest moments. And the characters themselves are so beautifully flawed and human. They make mistakes, they hurt each other, but they also learn and grow, which is something we can all connect with.
Speaking of those amazing characters, let's talk about what might be in store for them in Season 4. Where do we even begin after that seemingly definitive ending?
Well, we know Ted's back in Kansas trying to reconnect with his son, but that lingering shot of his believe sign suggests that part of him is still yearning for the pitch. I wonder if he'll find that he can't escape his calling, that his purpose lies in coaching and inspiring others.
I could totally see that happening. Maybe he starts coaching a local youth team in Kansas, bringing his Ted Lasso philosophy to a whole new group of underdogs. And let's not forget about Roy Kent. What do you think his next chapter will be?
Roy Kent, the stoic, grumpy, secretly soft-hearted captain. He's finally embraced his role as a coach, and he's clearly got a knack for it. But is coaching enough for him? Remember his passion for those Diamond Dog sessions, the way he opened up and offered genuine advice? Maybe we'll see him step into a mentorship role, guiding the younger players both on and off the field.
Ooh, I love that idea. Roy as a mentor would be amazing. He'd dispense tough love and gruff wisdom in equal measure. And can we talk about Rebecca? She's gone through so much growth, finding her strength and independence. What new challenges and triumphs await her in season 4?
That's a great question. Rebecca has blossomed into this confident, self-assured woman, but she's still finding her way. Maybe season 4 will see her taking on a new business venture, or finally allowing herself to be vulnerable and open to love again.
Ooh, a new romance for Rebecca.
Uh,
I'm all for it. But I also think it'd be interesting to see her grapple with the pressures of running a football club in a male-dominated world. Maybe she'll become an even more outspoken advocate for women in sports.
I could definitely see that happening. And let's not forget about Keely. She's building her own empire and finding her voice as an entrepreneur. Will she and Rebecca's friendship continue to evolve? Will she find a romantic partner who truly supports her ambitions?
I'm so curious to see where Keely's journey takes her. She's always been this ray of sunshine, but she's also got a lot of depth. I think season 4 could be a real turning point for her, both personally and professionally.
And of course, we can't forget about the rest of the AFC Richmond crew, Coach, Beard, Higgins, Leslie, all those wonderful supporting characters who bring so much heart and humor to the show. I have a feeling we'll see them stepping into the spotlight even more, their own quirks and stories come into the forefront.
It's going to be fascinating to see how all these storylines unfold, especially with the addition of Jack Burdett to the writing team. Still a bit hesitant about the potential shift in humor, but I'm also excited to see what fresh ideas he brings to the table.
I think it's a gamble worth taking. Ted Lasso has always been about embracing the unexpected both on and off the pitch. And who knows, maybe Burdett's comedic style will blend seamlessly with the show's existing tone, creating something even more magical.
You're right. It's all about having faith, just like Ted taught us. But speaking of faith, one of the most fascinating things about Ted Lasso is that it's managed to resonate with such a wide audience, even people who aren't typically into sports shows. What do you think it is about this show that's captured the hearts and minds of so many people around the world?
It's more than just a sports show, that's for sure. I think it taps into this universal desire for connection, for kindness, for a little bit of hope in a world that can feel pretty cynical.
It really does feel like this modern-day fable. You know, it reminds us that even in the face of adversity, even when the odds are stacked against us, there's power in believing in ourselves and supporting each other and never losing sight of our humanity.
Yeah, beautifully said. And it's not just about the feel-good messages, it's the way the show delivers them. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's thought-provoking, and it never feels preachy. It's entertainment with a soul.
Exactly. It manages to strike this perfect balance between lighthearted humor and genuine emotional depth. One minute you're laughing at Roy Kent's grumpy one-liners, the next you're tearing up as Ted opens up about his struggles with anxiety. It's a show that makes you feel, and that's something special.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so rewatchable too. You can enjoy it on a surface level for the laughs and the sports drama, but there's always something deeper to discover, some new layer of meaning to unpack. It's like comfort food for the soul.
Totally agree with you there. You know, it's interesting to think about how the show's legacy will evolve with this 4th season. Will it be able to maintain that same magic, that same balance of heart and humor? Or will it succumb to the pressure of expectations?
Right.
I mean, it is a big question.
It is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I'm choosing to believe that the writers and producers are just as invested in protecting the integrity of the show as we are. They've proven time and time again that they understand what makes Ted Lasso so special.
I hope you're right. And I'm genuinely curious to see how they navigate this next chapter, especially with the addition of Jack Burdett to the creative team. You know, it could be a brilliant move injecting new energy and ideas into the mix, or it could disrupt the delicate balance that's made the show so successful.
Definitely only time will tell.
Yeah. But until then, we'll have to content ourselves with speculating and dreaming up our own ideal scenarios for season 4.
And why not? Let's indulge in a bit of Ted Lasso fantasy. If you could write the script for season 4, what would you want to see happen? What storylines or character arcs would you explore?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think it'd be fascinating to see Ted grapple with the tension between his passion for coaching and his desire to be a present father. Maybe he finds a way to blend those two worlds, bringing his son to Richmond or finding a coaching opportunity closer to home.
I love that idea, and I'd love to see Rebecca finally find a love that's worthy of her. Someone who challenges her, supports her, and makes her laugh.
Yes. And maybe Roy Kent opens up a football academy for underprivileged kids, passing on his skills and wisdom to the next generation.
And Keeley launches a global empire, inspiring women around the world with her creativity and entrepreneurial spirit. The possibilities are endless.
They really are. And that's what's so exciting about this news. We know Ted Lasso is coming back, but we have no idea what adventures await us. It's like stepping onto the pitch with a fresh game plan full of hope and anticipation.
Well said. And to all our listeners out there, we want to hear from you. What are your hopes and dreams for Season 4? What storylines would you love to see explored? Share your thoughts. Join the conversation, and let's keep the Ted Lasso spirit alive.
This has been The Deep Dive, folks. Thanks for joining us on this journey of speculation and excitement. Until next time, remember to be curious, be kind, and always believe.